Hi everyone, my name is Chris. I'm from the School of Business Management.
And my name is Winston. I'm from Foundation and General Studies Department.
Okay, so today I would like to share with you what we did for our blended learning exemplar. First, let me explain the principles of what we tried to do. Okay, the first thing we tried to do was to follow blended learning principles. So what does that mean, blended learning principles? The first principle we wanted to do was to ensure that every piece is integrated. It's not just technology-rich learning, it's not just disparate learning, but everything is integrated. So what's integrated? E-learning is integrated. It articulates nicely to my in-class activities and learning content, and it articulates nicely into the e-learning again, and then it articulates nicely to extended form of learning to ensure that there is a complete comprehensive set of learning content and activities to engage learners. So let me repeat again, blended learning results in a seamless, integrated learning environment. And that's what we tried to create. And you'll see that principles at work when we demo each of these sites in a while, what we created as well. Okay, so let me go on the demo right now. Okay, this is our e-learning site that we created, and you can see from here that we have aligned them by topics and by weeks, and this we believe helps the students access it. And what we have done also was to put the learning outcomes so that it's upfront and clear. Okay, the module that we developed was called Effective Business Writing. It's for CET students. CET stands, of course, for Continuing Education Training students, so these are adult learners. Okay, so what we did was this. Okay, let me take you through one module right now. You realize very quickly that the module is designed such that there are a series of activities. And you realize very quickly as well that there are both types of content. One form of content is curated from the experts in the industry, and the other form, of course, is original content which we created. Okay, so if you look at the parts of how we did this in terms of designing an integrated blended learning module, there is, for example, a content that articulates nicely into our lesson plan. And let me just show you one example of original content created to enhance learning. And this is a pure e-learning done on storyline articulate, or articulate storyline. Okay, so if you click on this, you begin to realize that we try to make it contextualized to why is it important to learn a particular skill set for adult learners. Okay, so we try to give them a reason why this is important, and we explain this in terms of actual real reviews from experts and what you see out there in terms of what employers want. Okay, and these are some of the content we created, and this looks at how we did principles of effective writing. Okay, so we tried to make it animated and interactive so that it's something that is also engaging. And you also realize that we sequence the learning so that it's easier for learners to follow in terms of user interface and design. Okay, going back to our structure, what you also realize is that there's a common component which we call extend your learning. Extend your learning means we create additional content for learners who wants to learn a bit more, or specialize a bit more, or learn a little bit more deeply, and they may. Okay, they may as well. And you see this portion here under paragraph writing. This actually fits in directly to a class activity they did. So they continue their learning in class and take it online by doing additional activities here. So this links it to a YouTube video which they can watch and it's curated content as well. Okay, let me show you another example now. We also want to ensure that learning is authentic. So what we did was we created more interactive DIY, do-it-yourself videos. So I show you an example right now. So one way to make learning more personal is what we did was we ensured that the presence of the lecturer or the instructor is still is not missing. So we did interactive videos, and you can see me here looking rather stoic until I start moving. So we recorded interactive videos to teach them about online writing, and it goes on for a few videos that you can see here. And this was created quite easily as well. One module with about 30 minutes of content only took about a day to do. So I think it's a viable format to learn to do instructional videos because you're quick, fast, and easy. At the same time, you are sort of present in digital form. Okay, so we did a few, and the exercises that, let me just jump to exercises. There are also exercises that they can do as well, okay, as a learning check. Okay, so another form of what we tried to do was try to basically embed the lecturer's presence into the e-learning itself so that the personal element is not lost. And if you realize the way we design it, you can see that it blended integrated learning principle at work. So, for example, there is an interactive DIY video which you just saw, of me replicating the lecture that we're done in class. There's a portion to extend your learning, and in terms of practice, because it's online writing, we take them to an actual site. So if they click on this, they get to go to the Facebook writing site where there is additional learning activities they can continue, where they write an actual Facebook post as part of online writing to give that embedded authenticity that we are after. Okay, so we also adopt a flipped classroom. So you realize that the e-learning is foregrounded. Okay, it's foregrounded. Okay, it's foregrounded, and you can navigate through some of the content here. Okay, and there's interactive elements. We try to make it as interactive as possible so that learners will have a little more fun doing this. We also pay attention to the design, the color, and we also want to ensure that there is a continuity in terms of overall experience. So once they complete the e-learning, they would therefore continue to do exercises in class. So it's a flipped classroom situation. They learn it online, and they take activities online, and they take it to the classroom to practice some of these principles. So at this point in time, let me introduce my accomplice, Winston, to take over and talk a little bit about how we design e-learning for CET students.
Right. So as Chris mentioned, right, the purpose of this module is actually a micro blended learning approach, right? And our consideration at first was, of course, the main thing was the audience. And thinking about CET, right, these guys are adults, and working adults, of course. And what do they not have? Time, right? To have plenty of time, they come for classes, and straight away they want to be able to learn anywhere on the go. So we were thinking, what could we possibly use, right, to bring the content better to them and enable them to actually learn a lot better. We decided to use actually Articulate Rise from Articulate 360 Suite, which is actually one of the so-called better platforms that we feel nowadays that we recommend. It's actually mobile friendly, right? Pretty very responsive. So it's actually everything that can be seen on your mobile phone, and of course on your laptops and other portable devices as well. It's also I would say it's really wallet friendly, right? Because there is a certain budget, so we use free trials and everything to try and get the content done within a month. But in terms of efficiency, right, it is one of the most efficient platforms out there. So let me just show you a little bit about what we have done so far. What we're concerned, right, where as they go and learn on the go, right, they're supposed to be actually digesting content bit by bit. So to so-called enhance this whole micro-blended learning approach, right, we actually conducted so-called broke up the content into bite-sized portions, if you can see right here. It's actually all done entirely on the Rise platform. You can see beautiful content here, everything visually, it is right really friendly as well as being mobile friendly, right. So this allows us, right, to actually put in interactive elements, but apart from just being a textbook style format of learning. So you can actually click on tabs and of course pick up content, pick up learning points here. And one thing good is you can track your learning as well. From lesson 1, once you're done with that, we go to lesson 2. Right, so there is gradual, right, learning, and the curve is actually not that steep, right, because it's bite-sized, right, so they can digest it a lot more easier. Interactivity is really a key part of this platform, because you can see, right, we encourage them to go and click on, right, the content, click on the tabs and learn. And if let's say if they kind of forget about the different types of the learning points, they can actually go back and click again as well. So yes, you go through, right, for example, lesson 3, right, beautiful images again, and over here they can allow them, right, to have drop down menus where they can pick up certain content here. And to of course test their knowledge, their learning, right, we can incorporate quizzes right now, right, multiple choice questions to see whether or not they can actually they comprehended the lesson and whether they or not they remembered the learning points. Right? End of the day, after you're done with this whole quiz, right, you will be able to get a score. The student himself or herself will be able to get a score, and we can also track overall, right, the student base, how many percent has done well and how many percent, right, perhaps have not done as much. So it gives us a bit of good feedback as well, right, on how we can further improve the module. So, right, so I shall pass back to Chris again, right, to talk about the gamified version of this module.
So thank you, Winston. Thank you, Winston. So you heard from us second principle that we adopted. The first, of course, was seamless integrated learning along blended learning principles. The second, of course, Winston just covered was about micro-learning. Micro-learning is effective for CET students in particular because they are in need of quicker just-in-time learning because they don't have that much time and they have to work as well as study. The third principle we wanted to add is, of course, an element of competition, and we did this through gamified learning. So let me show you the examples right now. In terms of gamified learning, and this is a key feature that we built into the e-learning that we have created. So you see this little tag here called "Are you game enough?" The proposals, because they're doing proposal writing, we thought it might be quite fun to actually give them an actual real game-based format for them to try on. So we tried gamified learning. So let me show you what it looks like. So we mock up a little company setup, and the teams of students would have to pretend to be a company that has to propose or tackle a proposal that a client gives them. So this was created using Articulate Storyline 2. So Articulate Storyline 2 can also do gamified scenarios if you wish to. So let me show you some examples right now. Okay, so what they get is a task challenge, and because we are big on outcome-based learning, you do get the challenge outcome as well, and you get a series of tasks that you can complete. So for example, this mocks up an actual interaction with a client, and they have to decide whether they get the right one, what questions they want to ask. Okay, I'll just click through it, and they get some feedback as well. Okay, so I got that one wrong. Never mind. Okay, and I got that one wrong as well. And let's exit this space because I failed. Okay, but you get a sense of how gamified works. And if they wish to take a challenge test, that was a challenge task, a challenge test, they can take another one as well. So we create a little checklist for them to fill in, and this was about profiling, the importance of writing to suit your audience, so they can try this as well. Okay, they can exit this. So in addition, if the students want to attempt and score more points, and you will get a prize after the whole assignment is over, after they play 3 stages, we do have a link into Blackboard. So we link the assignment submission to Blackboard. So what you see is, again, as much as possible, a seamless use of different technologies from Articulate Rise to Articulate Storyline 2, and we leverage the submission platforms and Blackboard to create this game. And this articulates to badges they can win as well. Okay, so they can submit a bonus assignment. So this element of challenge is quite critical, and it's something which we use you use throughout the entire module. Let me show you another one which I've designed. Okay, I think because the CET students, it's important for them to get a sense of authentic, and the challenges we put into learning has to be authentic as well. I think students respond to that, and the task value increases, therefore students are more motivated to complete it. So the second element that you see here is also on a gamified platform, but this time we mimic an actual competition. So we are tied up with Ayam Brand. Ayam Brand, as you well know, is a heritage brand that's 125 years in Singapore. So we tied up with them to create a challenge. And what we've done was we embed the e-learning within this challenge itself. So they have a case study brief, and their brief was to create business messages for Ayam Brand, including a social media post. And where's the e-learning? Okay, we actually embedded e-learning in this instance. E-learning is actually here under storytelling for business. So we created an interactive video for students to try out. And this is an interactive video quiz. We invited a guest speaker, a master storyteller, to help achieve this. So this recorded in the studio, and we were able to do some of these things. So let me try to find the interactive portion. So if you click on this, for example, the video will stop. So it's an interactive video quiz. At the appropriate juncture, a learning check will pop up, and the video will pause, and they can't continue until they answer the right questions. So, and when you close it, the video continues. Okay, so our idea was to ask them to use storytelling techniques for business in order to win at the challenge. And the challenge comes with an actual prize as well. They will win actual prizes, and I think that will motivate again and increase the task value. So Ayam Brand has confirmed that they will, for example, be able to win a product hamper and some book prizes. So all in all, Winston and I worked together across 2 departments, and we highlighted 3 important principles. The first, of course, was we wanted it to be seamless, we wanted it to be integrated, we wanted to ensure that the blended learning principles were nicely summarized and everything works seamlessly. The second principle we adopted because the CET students was micro-learning. I think bite-sized, just-in-time learning is critical, especially for busy adults who are coming back to the poly to pursue a specialist dip, advanced dip, or further education. And finally, we wanted to add an element of authentic challenge. So we did that through gamified learning, as well as actual case study challenges which we can take part. So all in all, it was a wonderful experience being part of the blended exemplar. If ever you need any help, the offer is always open. Please be happy to drop us an email, and we're happy to share whatever we did. Whether you want a template or whether you want tips, we'll be happy to help.